of you guys could have seen that I've uploaded this PowerPoint slide just to give you guys an update of where you guys should be with your Project 2 Task 5. So this is just as an outline um, and just to assess your progress. So what I am expecting is mind maps, your rough sketches and your digital mockups to be complete at this stage. So the mind maps, you can have 3 complete mind maps. So this will be exploring your 3 themes and styles you're working on. So you don't even necessarily have to have 3 mind maps. The way that you can set out your mind map is as your main bubble. You'll have your game that you want to that you're inspired by. Then you can branch off into 3 different columns, and the other 3 columns could be the themes that you're exploring. So if that one will be sci-fi, another branch will be political, and the other one will probably be steampunk, just so you can just branch off. Then from those 3 different stems, you can start exploring the themes, what style you'd like your concept art to have. Um, Include some of your reference materials and your inspiration within your mind map. It just helps it be a little bit more legible, and it's easier for people to interpret what you're saying within the mind map. So yeah, so make sure you do have a mind map, so you can either have 3 separate mind maps, 3 separate complete mind maps. So if you're doing 3 separate ones, you'll have the game, you'll have the genre, you'll have the theme, and the style with your reference and influences. Or you can just have one solid mind map with the game in the center, and you can have the 3 branching off branches with the 3 themes. And then within those 3 themes, you will explore the style, you have your inspiration, reference material, and some of your additional ideas. Alright, then you have your rough sketches. I'm expecting you to have at least 2 complete rough sketches. So in terms of rough sketches, I mean like if you've discovered a theme, so you have a sci-fi, you'll explore different sketches and designs of your sci-fi genre. So your rough sketches are isolated objects. It doesn't have to be within a composition. It's literally if you're just designing a shoe, if you're just designing a hand, if you're just designing a weapon, just coming up with different styles of weapon. At this point, it doesn't have to fit into anything. You're just putting out a lot of ideas. So I do say 2 complete rough sketches. So if you have if like I said, from the 3 themes that you'll be working on, at least 2 of those themes need to have a good amount of assets or sketches of your rough sketches. So make sure you have 2 pages complete. You have digital mockup. So with the digital mockup, you can have 1 complete digital mockup. So this is just as an outline. So it's a visual representation of your design on your desired product. So on the left here, you have just an outline of how we'd want the interface to be. So you have the strengths, the powers, some of the spec of the individual character for this game, for this example game here. And on the right is the digital mockup. So you have the actual designed characters or profiles, and you have the design spec. Yeah, so it gives you an understanding of how you'd lay out your design in a first-person shooter. So make sure at least you've done that. You've done 1. This is a guidance. This is just so you guys are on track. So starting from your mind map to your rough sketching and digital mockup. If you've done more, that's great. If you've done less, you can push yourself a little bit so you can be at these suggested levels, so you can be ready to submit your work. The due date, I'll put it back to the 25th. As we all know, the original due date was the 18th for this task, but I did take in consideration not a lot of people had Photoshop, so I did take it back to the 25th. This is still negotiable depending on how much work that you guys have put in. I can probably give you an extra day or 2 just to make sure that you've done everything proper, because this task 5, I do feel like it's a big chunk of the upcoming task, so we want to get this done right. I need you guys to upload your work onto Google Classrooms by 9 o'clock each session that we do have. Obviously at the end of the lesson, whether it be 4 or 5, I would want you guys to give me an update so I can see what you guys have been up to. But at the end of the day, your homework and all your catch up, I'd like you to submit it by 9 so you guys aren't falling too far behind. All of this material I have provided provided this link on your Google Streams right here. I have given you the PDF so you guys can look into it. Just read through that. You do have your Prezi, so if you go straight back onto Prezi, all this information would still be here. So you have this section here where you can get a little bit more detail of the task or the project. You can read through that, but of course you can still go on to task 5 and your task description. That's all there. So you have all your different resources that you can access this information on. A lot of people don't really explore some of these resources here. Look into that because that is actually quite helpful. Finally, I have uploaded all the slides onto our shared drive. So you have the task 5. I introduced task 5. I have the updated due date for your task 5. Then I have your task 5 goals, what we're expecting at the end. So have a look at these reference materials so you guys can be equipped to actually take on this task. So I'll just quickly open this and I'll give you a quick recap of what we're expecting. So your goal is to develop 3 concept ideas. So let's say you've been employed by the team, the Doom team, and they've approached you and said, so-and-so, I need you to come up with 3 brand new concept ideas for maybe another level or another game of Doom. So you need to go out and explore these 3 different avenues, these 3 different ideas, which is based on Doom. You'll look at the themes. You'll choose maybe one level will be sci-fi, another level will be military or war, and the third one will be Western. You want to explore that. So you'll find the reference material of sci-fi, understand what sci-fi is about. Then you'll think of what style best goes with sci-fi, or what style you find is more tailored to your personal style, which could be based off your influence concept artist. So this concept artist is you adding your own flavor to it, your own personality. This is what has inspired you. This is what's going to set you apart. So make sure that your the concept artist that influences you, you take on some of their characteristics so you can implement it or incorporate it into your designs. So just have a read through this and we can take it from there.